Yo, what's good everyone? So today I'm going to show you how to create a React Navbar nav menu utilizing the latest React router version 6.4. So you probably see my other Navbar videos. Those been a while since I've made an update, and basically check it out. Got our links. We switch. Also notice it gets highlighted on the active page, and that's actually a NavLink. That's a new version of React Router that we actually can implement, which I'll show you how I did that. And also it is completely responsive. Boom, check it out. We click a little hamburger menu, still highlights, and you can see it still shows everything. Oh, I misclicked. Click on contacts, and even that logo brings us back home, and you can see it's there. And let's go. So this is the latest setup for React and React Router version 6.4. So without further ado, let's get into it and hop into our code editor, and I'll show you how to create your very own navbar. Alright, so here I am in VS Code, and I went ahead and created a folder, just named it React Navbar v6.4, and I opened it up in VS Code. And now I went ahead and pulled up my terminal. You can also just pull up straight up your terminal from your computer. It's same exact thing, and let's go ahead and create our project. So if you haven't already created a folder, then obviously you'll need to make a directory first and then get into it. So I already have mine here, so I'm going to go ahead and just do create react app by npx space create dash react dash app, and then you simply name your file. So let's just call this react nav menu, and I'll put 6.4 so I know exactly what I have, and I'll press enter and just wait. Takes like 20 years for it to complete, but when it's done we can continue. Alright, that legit took forever, but we are ready to go now. So if your computer is super fast, good for you. But now we can just cd right here, and whatever you named your folder, or I mean your file, so let's say react dash nav dash menu dash 6.4, and I'll cd into that, and now I can just do code dot, and if you don't have it set up, feel free to Google, but basically it should open up the window in VS Code. And I'm just gonna exit off this old version, bring this new one over, drag them right next to my old app. Okay, so now typical create React app templates, and with the new React router, and a lot of people, they stick with the index file and also an app.js file. And since this is a basic navbar, I'm just going to keep everything in index.js to just save some time. But if you did want to keep both index and app, then basically you make sure you have to import everything and then have your app here, which I can make a separate video if you want to see how that happens. But let's just go here, shift click everything, right click, delete, move trash, there we go, go back to src, new file, and we need an index.js file for this to work. And then we can simply, technically we don't have to do anything, we just leave it like this, and we can do command J or open up your terminal, and we can say npm start, and let's just make sure this is working first. So that should bring up localhost. And okay, so I still have my other one, so let me close this out really quick. Give me a second, let me turn off this original file real quick, and I'll bring it back up. Give me 1 second. Alright, I reset. Let me just clear my terminal again. So now let's do this time. npm start and open up a blank page. There we go. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. So now let's go ahead and start creating this navbar. Now I want to pull up the React router docs because it's just good for learning, and also in case you haven't seen the new update too, it'll see exactly what I'm typing out. So let me pull that real quick. Alright, so here I am on React Router. I think they're on 6.4.3 now, so they already went up a point since like my last video. But here basically 6.4 talks about client routing and all this fun stuff. So let's just go ahead and stick with the docs first, and let's just copy this in so we can see exactly what's happening. And the tutorial they had on this option right here is actually really good too. It simplifies some of the code. So let's just copy all that. I just copied in from the literal feature overview, in case you're like, all right, let me just show you again. We're on feature overview, and we're on this first code block. So now it's gonna say, let's go back it's going to say routes not defined, which makes sense. And we can't resolve React Router DOM. So here, let's go ahead and fix these issues. So if you're new, you're wondering how do I fix this error? Well, basically, we need these packages right here, this little React Router DOM. So let's go Control C, close it out, or you can just hit a plus and make a new terminal. But let's just say npm install react-router-dom. And while we're at it, let's just add React icons, icons, because we're going to be using those too. Then I think I'm probably forgetting one other one, but we'll install that in the future if that is the case. But so far we do got React, and look at this. So we got React Router DOM 6.4.3, and now we can go back to Node.js, and we do have to do npm start again because I closed out the terminal. And let's see, here we go. Okay, perfect. So far we got the basic route setup working, and pretty much I click on about, we got the link here. So here, let me just explain really quick. Essentially, they have this new thing, create browser router, and it replaces, if you see previous versions, with like switch routes, and they actually have a different version that is even before this one, where it's just like routes, or just route, and you'll have to see it on the docs. But essentially, this is the most updated one that I have found, and I've used this in my previous sidebar video too. And basically, it is an array with objects inside of everything, and it talks about the path, which refers to the URL you want your thing to go. So like /abouts that's the path, and then this element would be your component. So let's go here to let's do a new folder. I'll call it routes, you can call it pages, and we'll just say new file, and let's do this home.js. New file, let's do about.js, and new file, say contact.js. So in our home, let's just say import React from React, and basically we're just gonna make a simple function. And let me just go ahead and say function, what is this one, home, parentheses, curly braces, then can we say return, put parentheses in here, let's make a div, enter inside of this div, let's put a h1, just call this one home, and then we can say export defaults, and we can say home right here. And let me see, it should be import React there, capital, and now we can save. And let's go to the about. Actually, let's copy this first. Let's add a class name real quick. Class name equal to, just call this home. So that way when I go to the about, I'll save this, I can paste this in, and then just go from here. Let's do Command D or Control D, select everything, just say about, make sure the class is lowercase, and go to contacts, same thing, paste, select all these, Control D or Command D, contact, change this to contact, boom. Now we can go to index.js, and we can switch this out. So we can switch this, let's see, link, that's linking to about, but I want to link to, so let's do this. Let's go here first and see if this actually works. So I'll get rid of this element, and I'm just going to pass in a component, which would be our home component. And sometimes it imports like it just did there. If it didn't, press E or backspace E and wait till it highlights. And if it doesn't still, just manually type it in like this, and it imports home from /routes/home, or whatever folder you had your routes in. And this one would be the about, so it'd be /about, or not slash. Let's see, about like this, and as you can see, that's not fine. Yep. So we got to shift option down arrow, shift alt down arrow, copies that down, about from, about, save it right there. And look at that, we got our abouts. Let's go here, home, just like that. And just to confirm, let's go home and say like 1, 2, 3, boom. Okay, there we go. So far the routes are working, and this is just the basic setup. And now let's go ahead and start actually making the navbar. So this is pretty much the route part, and we actually have to add in another layout to where the navbar can be all covering everything. But for the most part, that is the basics explained, and now we can just get the navbar. So let's go src, new folder, components, And let's do, for simplicity's sake, I just put everything here. So I'll just say like navbar.js and right click, new file, navbar.css. You want to make like a folder, put everything in together, leave your CSS outside. I mean, feel free to do whatever, but we're going to keep it like this. And now let's go ahead and start coding out this navbar. So let's go here and we're going to say import. Let's just copy this. Hold up. Copy that here, save one line of code. And I want to import, and we're actually going to be using link in the actual React Router DOM. So I'll say that from import the link. And then I want to import this from or quotes react-router-dom. And we also need our CSS. So we're going to say import quotes./navbar.css. And then now we're going to add in a bunch of icons, which if you've never seen it, I might as well pull up the website. So give me 1 second. So here I have the React icon website up. Basically, you can search whatever icon you want. And the way, obviously we downloaded earlier, if you didn't, go ahead. You just import them like this. So all the icons I have already saved up, so you can go ahead and save some time. But if you ever want to make an icon, for example, like let's just type in, I don't know, email, you would simply look for the icon and copy it in. So let me show you. Let me just import one, for example. It'd be like imports, and this one's called like GI Rocket Thrust CH. Let me make sure I'm spelling this right. THRUSTER, and that is from React-icons/GI. So if you're ever importing something, for example, like AI, whatever, BS, at whatever, FI, it's always the name, like AI line mail from React-icon/ in the first two letters. So now, if I were to paste this down here like this, I'll do, no, I just only need 3. I can change this one now to my other icon, which I have saved already. It's going to be the bars, FA bars. And this is going to be the, like the hamburger menu. Hold up. FA bars, comma, and let's say FA times. And then this one again would just be FA since it's the first 2 letters. And last one, real quick, we're gonna need the icon context. Let me make sure I'm spelling that right. And this one's basically just gonna be live. And this is where we wrap everything around so that we can style the icons. And we're also gonna have a NavLink. So basically, let me put that up here. Import. I could just copy this actually and just change that to say NavLink. And I'll show you that in the docs too, because we're gonna use that for our active menu. And this is actually a new part of React Router. If I do like, if I can find, where is that? Where is it? Hooks. I'm just gonna type it like this. Here we go. NavLink. Basically, it's a different way to write it out. At first, it was confusing to understand, but I figured it out. So I'll show you how that works. And before my other videos, I would do like a class active, but this way it's actually pretty easy to set it up. So let's go now here, and we start creating our function. Call it navbar, parentheses, curly braces, and now we can go in here and return. And basically, let's go ahead and let's see. Oh, so I need to pass in state because we're gonna update the state of our React file. So let me add it here, and now we can go like this and put return parentheses, put in a fragment really quick, and let's just do some basic stuff right now. So first thing is, let's just make a nav, and I want to have a class name equal to navbar. Name your class whatever you like. I'll keep mine like this. And then I want to have a div with the class name equals to, and let's do navbar dash container. And then I'll just put another space, put container here. And then underneath this, I'm gonna create my link. So I'll say link, and this is gonna have a 2 path, and it's equal to quotes of the home, which is the slash. And then I'll have the class name equal to the navbar. I think this would be the logo, I believe, yep, here. And then we'll put a function, which we will end up creating above, but basically for now we're going to say on click, and we're going to say equal curly braces, and this is going to be our function we're going to create above, which we haven't done yet. But basically I just call this one like close mobile menu. Let me let's see, close this out here, close this out, and basically now we can add in our icon. So this one would be the GI rocket thruster. Auto completes for us. Class name equals to Navbar dash icon. Close it out, and then here you can just put your website name, whatever you have it, and basically now I can go ahead and let's save this really quick, and then let's go export defaults Navbar. Save it, and let's do this. So right now we can't see what's happening, so I need to make the nav, which will be up here, and basically this is how we wrap everything into our application. So I'm just gonna call this one the app layout. So I'll say const app layout equals to, we'll just make it open parenthesis arrow function curly brace, and we're gonna return parentheses and just put a frag really quick here so we can pass in our nav bar component, which we were adding. We aren't finished yet, but we have to pass this in now, and we're actually gonna pass an outlet as well. And you can check more in the docs to see what's going on. But basically, now it's gonna say close my menu, blah blah, outlet's not fine. There we go. So here we need to go into our array and add in another object. So our curly braces here. This one is gonna be the elements, and this time it's gonna be the app layout component we have here, app layouts. And underneath that we had a comma first. I'm going to have the children as not colon, and then we will have another array, press enter, and then we can copy in, get the object one right here, and then this one, Command X or Control X, cut it and paste it in here and save. And now it's gonna say there's an error. So first off, let's just do this. Let's close this out. Let's just erase it or Command X it real quick, and then let's see what else. Outlet's not defined. Oh, I need to update outlet too. So we gotta say, I wonder if I can have it auto import. Yeah, we auto imported. There we go. And now we have this. So check it out. We got our Navbar little logo, boom, and a home page. So now let's go back and start working on the Navbar really quick. And let's see, where are we at? Right here on the link. So here's the link right here, and then I want to go underneath this link, and I want to create my next div. So here I want to create a div, so I'll just say div, and I want to put the class name. I'll put this one as just menu icon, and then basically I'll have, again, we're gonna have another function and on click. So I want to keep it here just now so you can see exactly where we have our function. So we'll say handle click, and we'll create that above. We might as well actually just create that right now. So let me finish this first. But basically we'll have curly braces, and then I'm gonna have it where it's click, and basically I have a value called click, and we're gonna have a turning operator question mark. And pretty much if I click it, then this logo is going to have or be visible, so F8 times, and then we'll slash close it out. This is going to be one of the icons from React icons, and then we do colon, and then basically it's like if or else. Like if I click, this will show, or else this F8 bars, which is the hamburger menu, will show. So if I save this right now, first off, let me copy back in this on click close mode menu into the GI thrusters icon right here. So add that line right here, right past inside the GI thrusters, and then we can go and save it, and now we can add in our state above. So now I'm gonna go here, and basically it's just updating state. So if you've never done use state, feel free to check a video, but pretty much you just name your video. So I'm gonna say array call it click, which we have, I just put right here, and then pretty much whatever you want to name the function. So set click, and what I want this to do is use state, and parentheses have it set to false. And then after this, I want to create the two functions, the handle click and the close mode menu, which are these two right here, this guy and this guy. So I'll say const handle click. I feel free to name this handle click 1, 2, 3, like whatever you want. Just this is how I named it, and I just had equal to a open parenthesis arrow and set that to set click, and I want to have it not so I'll be basically the opposite value. So whenever I click it, it'll do reversing and then going back, and then we'll have const close mobile menu equal to same open parenthesis arrow function set click, and put that to false. So pretty much the icon here will close the menu, and also this right here will open the menu and can close the menu. So now we have our basic little divs. Let me save it really quick. So now if I were to click this, you can see it's working now. So this is the FA bars icon right here, and then when I click FA times, because it's literally like multiplying. So if it looks like you're thinking like time like clockwise, no, it's like it's actual X, and then click it here. And this is what's happening with this handle click function, and that's what this value is doing. It's just reversing. It's either doing it true or false, just depending on what is currently set. So now the basics of the nav is pretty much there. So now we just got to update the UI part. So underneath this div, I have, let me close out this terminal. We'll have a UL class name. Let's do class name equals to curly braces click, and we can do same thing, question mark turn operator if this class nav dash menu is active, then I want this to have that class, else I want it to be nav dash menu, and then close it out. And now let's go ahead and click on the li. So li, I want to do class name equal to nav dash item, close this one out. And now this is where things get interesting. So this is actually utilizing the React router NavLink, which I'll pull up a, let's search this. Where is it? Where is the NavLink? Here we go. Okay, so NavLink, and if you were to look at this at the first time, it looks pretty confusing. So in the docs, it shows it's either you can have inline styles or you could have like a class name set. So basically here they have two different examples. Like here's one with the style option, and then here's with the class name. And they don't have an option. I don't think they show what's the way I set it up with mine. Actually, maybe it's on another page. I can't remember which one it was. But basically what I'm going to show you is how I have it to set as just a normal class, and then if it's clicked, like we're on the home page, then I have it highlighted in blue, and then if I click on about, it'll be highlighted in blue, and it'll just switch like that. So this is built in with here. You could do also like the class name, like I have set up like this, and whenever I have it click, it'll add an active to it. But let's just show you how I have it set up. So I'm gonna say NavLink, and pretty much it's similar to just like a link like these right here, except it has additional things you can add. So like to equal and slash. So this is going to be for the home. And here's what the interesting part is. So now I'm going to say class name, except it's going to be equal to a curly brace, parenthesis, we're destructured real quick, curly brace again, and is active. And they believe this is the function they have already pre-made. If I can see, where is it at? And there's documentation. Yeah, well, I can't find the exact wording, but basically this is how I have it set up. And pretty much where you have the outside of this will be arrow function first, and then we're gonna add in the class name. So let me name this one, just call it nav-links, and then we're gonna say plus. So this is different from what we've done before. And so right now what this plus means is we're gonna have it as the NavLinks class by default. So whatever styling NavLinks has, so for example, let's say color is white of the text, it'll contain this, plus it has this additional active class that you can set to it, and then pretty much it'll just be parenthesis, and then we'll just have is active, and I guess we can just put the same, and again I guess you can name which one you want to, but pretty much turn it operator again with the question mark, and we're gonna say quotes, and this is crucial, highly or super important that you put a space first and then say activated. Because if you don't put this space, what's gonna happen is in the console it's gonna say like nav-links activated, and it's not gonna know what class that is. It doesn't exist. So putting this little space right before this will try to save you hours of stress. It's gonna go like this instead, and that's gonna be like your class right here. So just make sure you make it have that space activated. I spelled it wrong here, don't worry about that, but basically has to have a little space before the quote, then you have the word, and then after that, then you can do the ternary again, the colon, and then pretty much have it as empty. So now by default, let's say the color, we have the class nav-links has like color white. Let me say this really quick so you can see. And hold on, did I close it out? No, I didn't close it out. Close it out like this real quick. Well, actually no, yeah, close it out like this, and then I need to close. Yeah, there we go. Press enter. So there we go. We have it like that, and then I'll put home first. So now we close it out. Okay, so now Prettier sets it up. Okay, so let's go back and just re-explain what happened. Links to home, class name. If it's active, we're gonna have first the default class NavLinks plus whether it's clicked or not. It's gonna either hold on. It's gonna add activated or it's not gonna activate. So if I go to like app CSS and do like .nav-links, right? And I'll say like color white. Basically, if I want to set .activated to have a different color, then I'd put like .activated. I can say like color red. So now if I go back to Navbar, let me see if we can see this going on. So see, it's right now it's activated, right? Because it's red. Because we're on the home page. If I were to put actually we don't even have it about yet. So let's do this. Let's copy this in real quick. So let's copy in the second one and just make the about. So I'm gonna go here to this next li, copy this in, paste this under. This one's gonna be /abouts. NavLinks, yep, and this one's gonna say abouts. Save it. So now about is why is it it's in white. So let's do this. Let's make CSS. Let's do lime so you can clearly see the difference. Here we go. All right, so basically check out. So by default, the NavLink is gonna have this NavLink class by default, right? So you can see it has NavLinks. Both of them have NavLinks, except the difference is we're on the home page. If I were to switch to about, which I click here, now it adds the activated class, which is plus activate. So if that makes no sense, if you go to the inspect, you can visibly see it. So like if I click on here, look at that. See about doesn't have NavLinks activated anymore. Then I click it now, and boom, it's activated. So that's a cool thing with the new React Router NavLink part, by the way. And if I over-explained that, don't worry. Feel free to fast forward. But basically, that's how it is. Because if you don't, trust me, if you put no space like I showed earlier, and I inspect, and I click on about, like this, where's it at? I click on about, bruh, show me about real quick. So here, if I click on about now, why is it not working? Yeah, you can see, there you go. NavLinks activated. Like, it doesn't know what this class is. It's weird. So that's why you have to put the space. Boom, there you go. Okay, so I think I went too much in detail on NavLink, but hey, that's just the basics on how I set it up. And now we can go here, do it, copy it again. Boom, and let's do, what is this? Contact, save that right there. And then pretty much in terms of that, we do need to add in the closable menu on here. So let's go back to home, and let's go and let me add that. Right, let's see, we're gonna do closable menu, and basically I want every single menu item to have this. So I'll put it, let's see, where's my links? So right here. So essentially outside of this curly brace, but we're still inside of this NavLink right here. We're gonna do on click function, basically curly braces, where we will trigger the close mobile menu, a little function up here to close the menu when we click. So we'll click here, and this one outside there, this one outside there. Save it here. And then we need to wrap everything in icon context provider. So go here, and this is just for the icons. Like, it's unnecessary if you don't need it, but we're gonna say context provider. And by default, you can put in a value, so you can do double curly brace. And I just want all the icons to be white, so let's do double FF. Right, but I need to say color first. And then we will have it with the quotes right like this. And I'll close it out. Select this, Command X or Control X. Underneath, save it. Boom, all of our icons are disappeared. Not just kidding, they're here, they're just there in white. So, yeah, if you don't believe me, let's do black for now. So there you go, okay. So I'm gonna put white here. And now, save everybody's time. And I'm gonna focus on CSS, where I'm just gonna simply copy this from the code. So feel free to check the GitHub, get the code from there, and then we can have a prettier looking Navbar. So let me copy that in really quick. Give me 1 second. So I got my code from the CSS. We'll save it, and boom, this is what we got so far. And for the basic part, it's working, but this is important. One is the looks like the, where's it at? The link isn't closing out the menu. So first off, let's fix that, because that is not supposed to happen. So it should be menu, icon, handle, click. All right, let's see. I got the rockets, on click, close mobile menu. Why are you not closing? Should be outside the right. Oh, that's why. I need to wrap the actual link parts with the on click. So I'll save that here. So that should, okay, just close it out here. So there we go for that. And in the grand scheme of things, this is the basis, but I'm going to show you some additional things, because the React router has some new things like error page, which I'll show you just right now. And this is important because if someone goes to like a link, like if I go here, and let's just say, also I didn't finish all the routes, but let's just say your path is like about 1. Save it. And then I go, let me drag it out. Also, this responds to, by the way. I click on about, and it says about. It's going to say about, but the actual URL is going about 1. So this is cool with React Router, is that if you go here to error, it should be error element. They have basically all this code in here and pretty much how to set it up. But there's a specific part in this docs where I'm trying to find. I think it's on the tutorials. Let me see. Error. There. Now it's roots. Main. Here we go. Okay, so I just copied this code in right here. Just like this. Created my error page. Boom. Let's see. I need to go back to Init.js. And I need to pass this in as an error element. So you can even see it pop up here. And then I'm passing error page. Imports that because that's the component we have here. Comma. And you have to pass it into this app layout because it's not going to work if you don't. And look at that, boom, now we got this error page. So I can put like 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see that there it goes. So it's working now. And if you want to style it, obviously you need to like add, CSS for that too. I'm not gonna spend time on that right now. But then basically that is how you have the error page. And then pretty much, and now I can just add the following CSS. I can just do like app.css really quick. Like this. app.css, and then I'll copy that in really quick. So just copy in my CSS, and then I just say import /app.css. Save. Boom. Okay. And now you can add the logos too and go fancy. But now we can see the color. You need to fix that link really quick. And then also I need to add in another one for the contacts. So that'll be contact right here. And this should be the contact. There we go. Save. Boom. Alright, so there we go. So now we just gotta double check everything. Now you can see that's updating the highlights, about, home, go back to about, and then open the menu, check the logo, and boom, let's go how you create it. And you can see it's updated with the color based off the page we clicked on. We're using the NavLink from React Router version 6.4. So if this helped you out, make sure you like this, subscribe to the channel, share this with someone, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.